Okay, picture this. You're at the dealership. You've looked under the hood, you've kicked the tires, and then you slide into the driver's seat. It feels pretty good. The salesperson leans in, gives the seat a little tap, and hits you with the classic line.
And you hear that, and you think, okay, so that's where the money is. But is it? I mean, is a car seat just a fancy piece of furniture? The truth is, that leather is just the very last, thinnest layer of an incredibly complex machine, a piece of engineering designed to save your life.
So let's really get into it. What are we looking at here? Well, a single high-end car seat isn't just one thing. It can be made up of more than 200 separate parts. Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking high-strength steel, a bunch of tiny motors, complex wiring, and foam that's been engineered with unbelievable precision. What's the real difference between a seat that just feels nice in the showroom and one that actually saves your spine on a long road trip or, saves your life in a crash? That's exactly what we're about to break down. The best way to think about a car seat is to stop thinking of it as a chair at all. Instead, think of it like a high-tech human body. It's got a skeleton for strength, muscles for support, skin for protection, joints that let it move, and even a nervous system that controls everything. And trust me, the most important part is the one you can't even see. So let's start with the bones. This is the single most critical and usually the most expensive part of the entire seat, the frame. And this has absolutely nothing to do with comfort. This is all about survival.
Seriously, you should think of the seat frame as your own personal suit of armor. Because during a collision, the forces are just gigantic. Your seatbelt holds your body, sure, but it's the seat skeleton that has to hold you, the seatbelt, and the entire system in place.
And the difference between a good one and a bad one is, well, it's staggering. At 20 Gs of force, which is a really serious but survivable crash, a weak frame can literally just collapse or even rip right off its bolts. But a strong one, made from high-strength steel, holds firm. It keeps you right where you need to be, inside the car's safety cell.
So how strong does it actually have to be? Well, the safety standards have a very specific and very big number. The frame has to withstand a force of 20,000 newtons.
Now, 20,000 newtons probably doesn't mean much to you, so let's put it this way. That's like having a small elephant just decide to sit down on your seat. And through all that, the frame can't bend, it can't break, it can't fail. The hidden steel structure is absolutely everything. Now, this brings us to another huge myth, the headrest. You know what? We should really call it a head restraint. It is not there for you to lean your head back and take a nap. Its number one job is to stop your neck from breaking from whiplash in a rear-end collision. Just look at the data here. Cars with just a normal, fixed headrest, they still carry a pretty high risk of neck injury. But cars with active headrests, the kind that shoot forward in a crash to catch your head, they slash that risk dramatically. And here's the kicker. You know how much it costs the car company to add this life-saving feature? It can be as little as 150 yuan. That's about 20 bucks. A tiny, tiny price for a feature that can prevent a life-changing injury. It's crazy. Okay, so the skeleton keeps you safe. Let's move on to the parts you actually feel, the muscles and the skin. In other words, the foam and the seat covers. But even here, what feels good in the moment isn't always what's actually good for you. We all do it, right? We sit down in a showroom and the seat feels like a big soft pillow. And we think, oh, this is comfortable. But on a long drive, a seat that's too soft is just a total nightmare. It gives you no support, it makes your spine curve, your pelvis tilts. It's the reason you get tired and your back starts to ache. A good seat supports your body. It doesn't just swallow you whole. So what about that premium leather the salesperson was talking about? Well, let's be real. A lot of the time, high-end fabrics are actually way better. They breathe, so you don't get that sweaty back in the summer. They don't freeze your legs in the winter or burn you in the summer. And they're often way more durable. Yeah, leather has that premium feel, but fabric often has superior function. And that skin has another secret job. If your car has side airbags built into the seats, then the seam on that side is actually really special. It's a breakaway seam, and it's engineered to split with the perfect amount of force so the airbag can pop out correctly. If it's too strong, the airbag is trapped. Too weak, and it could tear on its own. It's an incredible piece of engineering hiding in plain sight.
All right, now for the joints and nerves of our seat. This is the whole complex system of motors, gears, and wires that lets you make all those fancy adjustments.
A really high-end luxury seat can have up to 18 different ways to adjust it.
We're talking forward, back, up, down, recline, lumbar support that moves in and out and up and down, thigh support, side bolsters, the list just goes on. And every single one of those movements needs its own little motor.
And when you add up all those motors, plus the seat heaters, the ventilation fans, the massage functions, you end up with a massive web of wires. We're talking over 15 meters. That's like 50 feet of wiring all crammed inside one seat. And it all has to be tucked away perfectly so it doesn't get pinched or cut when the seat moves. It's like trying to do surgery inside a moving robot.
Okay, so you've seen how complex these things are. The question is, how do you take all this knowledge with you to the dealership and actually use it? Well, I'm going to give you a simple 3-point checklist. First thing, you've got to understand where the money is really going. Just look at this chart. The biggest chunk of a seat's cost, a whopping 55%, is in the steel frame and the motors. The parts you can't even see. That leather and foam the salesperson loves to talk about, that's only about 20%. See, you're paying for the engineering, not the decoration.
So here's your test, your BS detector test. Number 1, sit. And don't just flop down for 5 seconds. Sit there for a full 2 minutes. Do you feel actual support in your lower back, or do you just feel yourself sinking in? Number 2, adjust. Push every single button. Play with all the controls. The movement should be smooth and totally silent. If you hear grinding or feel it hesitating, that's a huge red flag for poor quality. And number 3, sniff. No, seriously, take a good whiff of the cabin. A strong chemical smell means they use cheap glues and foams. Your own body is the best tool you've got.
So here's the bottom line. A car seat is one of the most important pieces of safety and comfort equipment in your entire vehicle. So the next time you're in that showroom, just ignore the pitch about the fancy cowhide. Feel the support, listen to the motors, and remember, the most valuable parts of that seat are the ones you hope you never have to use. Which really just leaves you with one question to ask yourself. Are you buying for the showroom, or are you buying for the road?